It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
And we're back here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, in studio as senior editor of freedomsphoenix.com. Pal Gamble, you've been doing this part for the economy. What have you been doing, man?
I've been out buying Christmas presents and looking for a cheap $19 video camera just in case the police want to confiscate it and, you know, drop it or something. And then it suddenly becomes a $99 video camera.
And, well, you went there. Did they have any left?
No, they were all sold out.
You know, my daughter, she just said that they were advertising that on TV.
You just see $19 for a video camera, and it was like 5 megapixel one, and it looked decent enough. But what really struck me is they had a 10 megapixel one for $32, and they had a 720p high def one for $45, a 12 megapixel one. Just like, other than it was a cheap brand, but I remember you had me videotaping a Biltmore protest we did once, where I first met Al Ramirez, the Phoenix Police Department, and it was night. It was dusk going down on it, and I was doing standard def video on that, and I was stunned at how good at low light quality high def cameras seem to be at doing on standard def settings. So I was like going, $45 would be nice, but they're, like I said, all three cameras were all sold out.
There it is. I am so amazed at how cheap things can be. I mean, even when you paid a couple $100 for a VCR and you would open it up and all, I'm like, wow, man, they make these for that. And the things now, it's just getting so, and technology has changed. It's empowering the individual to be able to communicate immediately and directly with people, and it really is the kind of stuff that we take advantage of on Freedom Phoenix.
And some of these cameras now are getting so tiny that you can basically hide them anywhere, and if the cops or whoever wants to play, hey, you got it going, they go confiscate your big one and make fun of you or whatever and try to get them to say whatever you can get them to say. And then, later on, and there it is. And especially if they try to delete it, they're so dumb. They delete the thing and then you just go and undelete.
Yeah, because they don't understand it's a delete file. You can just undelete. But they're getting more sophisticated. When we had the officers in here last time, what's this? What are you pulling up here? Oh, these are, okay. Well, let's go ahead and...
Oh, the prices.
Yeah, let me go ahead. She brought in her laptop here. Show you. Here is... I can't do it, baby. I won't be able to get that. But there's a bunch of them here. We have $39 for a 10 megapixel. We have a Jazz Digital Pop-Up, $25. A Jazz 5 megapixel, $25. $20, $18. Wow. Are you asking me to get you something for Christmas? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, is that what's going on? You want some disposable activism tools? This is what is. I wanted to talk to Pal about. He came by on a shopping spree here, and what did you see? I mean, we're right after Thanksgiving. We're definitely in the Christmas shopping season. You would think they do the Black Friday thing, and then it's still probably going today. They'd be out there. Is it busy?
Actually, it's not as busy as I thought it would. Today's supposed to be Cyber Monday, and I really didn't see much in the way of...
The heck does that mean?
It just means another excuse to come out and buy. It's basically like, okay, stuff we couldn't sell on the weekend, come on out and we'll have it marked down for any electronic stuff on the first Monday after Black Friday.
People that go out on Friday, the only reason they go out is because they can get it and it's available, but... They kind of limit, if you wait till closer to Christmas, you can get even cheaper. Hey, you wait till the day after Christmas, they pay you to come haul it off.
That's quite true.
We've done that before in poverty-stricken days. We just, put whatever it is that we're going to get the kids. We clip out the, whatever the picture was, put it in an envelope, and then we'll go shop it.
You also buy for next year on your friends. Say, oh, here's half off or 3/4 off, and stick it up in a closet somewhere.
That happens. Well, you looked at the Freedom's Phoenix over the weekend. I mean, what was your overall impact of what's going on?
The big thing, the WikiLeaks, the big WikiLeaks that struck me was President Karzai of Afghanistan accusing Pakistan of basically funding and keeping the Taliban from coming to the peace tables, and because ultimately they wanted Afghanistan to become a province of Pakistan. I was like, ooh, that was a good wiki.
Oh, that's what that was about.
Yeah. And then the other thing that struck me was this Harvard scientist who have created an immortal mice. I mean, the headline's actually an exaggeration, but basically they have a group of mice that that they had genetically engineered to grow old, and they did that by knocking out a certain enzyme that adds DNA to the ends of chromosomes. They noticed that in chromosomes of all animals, as you grow older, the ends of the chromosomes seem to shrink. And so the idea was, wow, if we could knock this out, what would happen? So they found the gene that was responsible for this. They knocked it out in this group of mice, and they rapidly aged. And then they turn around and they add the enzyme back to the mice, and they reverse the aging process. And that is stunning. I mean, I think they were like me when I first read it. I thought, oh, big deal. You're going to halt the aging process, fine. But they actually reversed the aging process. And
I remember this coming up. You remember Kent and Fran Van Cleve? Mm-hmm. Fran belongs to some group. It's a longevity kind of thing for living longer and healthier and whatever. And that was part of it. As your cell replicates, you like every 7 years, all the cells change or something like that. As it does that, each time that it replicates, there's this tail, that
it's a little shorter every time.
Right. So they're going, if there's some way to block that, well, then you can extend life. And I'm going, Mama Nature, God, somebody did that on purpose for some reason. I'm just wondering what it is.
And it is. You're absolutely right. It's a real question mark of why do animals, any animal, even yeast, why do they grow old and die? What's the point? And that's still one of the great mysteries of biology, frankly.
Well, we're going to frank and find out, I guess.
And yes, absolutely. I'm sitting there going, this actually does bode well for people that want to live a lot longer. Although it doesn't bode very well. Doesn't bode very well for Social Security. Government's never going to allow it to happen.
Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, see, all this engineering, man, you're just asking for trouble. It's just you never know what's going on. What were some of the other things that caught your interest this weekend?
God, there was a lot.
I know. I went over a bunch of it today, man. I was like, man, we are going to war. Going to war. Ireland is, are they going to bail themselves out?
They've essentially accepted the bail. So unless there's literally a revolution, which is possible, within a few days they're going to sign the ink's going to dry, and they're going to suck down this bail money. That's really horrible. What's going on in Ireland? That is really what it boils down to is it's a mechanism where private bankers get to keep the profits, but when they take the losses due to their own negligence in loaning out money, they want to socialize the losses, so the taxpayers of Ireland have to basically subsidize the banks, rather than essentially saying, well, too bad, you get to declare bankruptcy and your shareholders eat it, eat the debt.
Well, you see what's going on with Iceland.
Yeah. Now that's amazing. And who knows what's going to come out of it, but it's like, yeah, well, okay, I'd much rather see, like you said, going through a phone book and getting picking out people and just seeing what they come up with as far as a new constitution goes. It's like, can't be any worse than what they come up with these fine politicians with their fine hats.
Yeah, it was like Harrison Bergeron, the movie where they just pick people to be president out of the phone book.
And that's what they should do. Yeah, if you're going to have any kind of president, you just sorry, you got your 2 years, man.
Oh, one thing I wanted to go on is the movie Red Dawn. Have you been paying any attention to that?
No, I sure haven't.
It's interesting to me that what an impact the first one had in 1984.
True, and what's really amazing is how much they vilify that movie too. The liberal media, the Hollywood crowd, they do not like that idea of uprising by armed citizens, and that's what really gets them. It's armed citizens who uprose. It wasn't any kind of military force or anything.
Yeah, it was children. They got teenagers out there, giving what for, and the whole thing was their father raised them. He goes, now you understand, don't you, boy? Well, man, we're in the understanding mode right now, so they do this again. It's going to be, this is going to be interesting, because when that was done before, it was during a time when we didn't have the internet. And now with the internet, just it was a long time ago, maybe a year ago, that we started publishing on Freedom's Phoenix that this movie was even being remade. In fact, we got the In Chinese Wanted posters that they made of all of us in the workshop here.
Is that where that came from?
That's where it came from.
Great.
You know, that little Chinese, wanted
absolutely.
and so on. That it came from a movie site that they, just put our pictures in there. Some of the guys did. Yeah, Red Dawn. I'm getting scared. I'm more concerned now than I ever have been. And me and my wife, we've been looking for land and getting all our stuff taken care of and buying our goodies. And it's time. We'll keep you apprised of what we find, because we're starting to look. You should look too, and get some chickens.